Most people recall a time when they made an unfounded assumptions about someone with disabilities that was going to behave, realizing only later that their preconceived ideas were not completely accurate. No matter whom we are dealing with, sometimes our expectations about people are burned out, and other times we are surprised to find out how different an individual is from the stereotype we based our expectations on. Beware of stereotypes. Stereotypes are based on generalizations about people, sometimes accurate, sometimes not. Basing our interactions with children on stereotypes can limit our ability to predict behavior. Many other misconceptions about children with disabilities exist. For instance, children with autism are sometimes seen as intellectually limited, while many are anything but. Similarly, children with physical disabilities are frequently treated as though they are helpless and weak, while many others are strong and physically capable in many situations. So, in this video, we are going to talk about different types of learners with special needs. We also have to learn different strategies and different aspects of special education that will help us to cater all students with special needs. So now, what we're going to tackle is all about an allergy. Allergy, it occurs when your immune system reacts to a foreign substances. When you have allergies, your immune system makes antibodies that identify a particular allergen as harmful, even though it isn't. Here are types of allergy and their symptoms. First, we have high fever, or allergy caused by pollen or dust, can cause sneezing, itching of the nose, eyes, or roof of the mouth. And the second one is a food allergy that can cause anaphylaxis or a severe life-threatening allergic reaction and hives. And the third one is an insect sting allergy that can cause itching all over the body and also that can cause cough, chest tightness, wheezing, or shortness of breath. For the fourth one, we have a drug allergy that can cause us itchy skin or facial swelling. And the fifth one is atopic dermatitis, or an allergy skin condition, also called as eczema, that can cause skin to itch and flake or peel. So next we are going to tackle is all about an allergic reaction first aid. First, lay the person flat and do not allow them to stand or walk. And second is administer adrenaline with the auto-injector to reverse a severe allergic reaction. Also that here are the tips on how we teachers can help students with chronic illnesses. First, we are going to recognize when a student is struggling. We are going to watch for any disconnections between you and your students and look for cues for you to know if something is wrong. Next, we are going to give and seek guidance if a student is having a trouble in classroom because of his or her chronic illnesses. The teacher must need to connect with learning support staff at school and talk to the family about their children. So we are going to look for triggers. So identify what triggers the student's chronic condition, such as physical aspects of the classroom environment, and make the necessary modifications. Also that make exceptions that treat the students like any other students. We're going to consider what can help students with chronic illnesses, like a need to leave the classrooms frequently, but make sure that he or she doesn't feel alienated. Supporting students with chronic illnesses. Also, the family and the school need to work together to establish and maintain good communication and cooperation. Everyone needs to understand what is needed and expected to support your child. The family and the school also need to be clear about what can and cannot be done so that everyone's expectations are achievable and realistic. The important things to remember are that you share informations, develop a care plan, keep up good communications and make changes where necessary, and seek extra support. So we are going to share informations about chronic illnesses. We should create or we should decide what information about our children's conditions, and it should be shared with the appropriate school staff, and develop a care plan. We should have to consult our students' condition with regards to their situations as well. Most especially, a family and a school principal and a school-based care or even a management plan should be developed. And keep up good communications to the students who have a good and regular communications between the school and the family is the way to monitor how our children or student is coping at school and at home, academically, socially, physically, and emotionally. We are going to send home schoolwork, establish email contact, repair to the visiting teacher service, organize a program support group. Also that we are going to make changes for students with chronic illnesses. It should be more helpful for students to have a wide and grown physical environment to be modified for allowing full access to school facilities and activities for children with chronic illnesses, and has extra funding support for students with a chronic illnesses. Like for example, the school should be eligible to apply for an extra funding or support for students who has chronic illnesses. And the staff also need to be educated, or we should have to be informative upon dealing with such students who has a specific condition or a chronic illnesses such as the allergy. And we are going to give a special service for students with chronic illnesses that is accompanied by a specialist staff to assist and must include a visiting teachers, education support officers, psychologists, social workers, and other allied health professionals. And also, we are going to serve a program for students with disabilities. It is called the PSD that provides additional resources for the education of students with disabilities and additional learning needs. It is where the child schools can apply for the PSD by completing an educational needs questionnaire that will determine if your child meets eligibility criteria under one of the seven categories, including the physical disability, visual impairment, severe behavior disorder, hearing impairment, intellectual disability, autism spectrum disorder, and the severe language disorder with critical educational needs. So in this case, we are going to look for our doctor, our school principal, our having any specialist or health specialist for this case, and allergy for any students who has a chronic illness. Beginning in a primary school or moving to secondary school can be a challenging time for any students and family. This can be a challenging time for any students and family that this can be even harder when the students has a chronic or ongoing health condition. They get the most out of their schooling. Students with a chronic illnesses needs ongoing and coordinated support from their families, the schools, and the medical carers. Though the identification and explanation of different type of learners with special needs, most specifically having an allergy, is that we are able to learn how to deal with them, not violating any of their rights and our rights as well. As pre-service teachers, we are obliged to know and create different strategies that will help us to handle our students. It is our responsibility to know our students in order for us to know how to deal with them. By giving importance to these concepts, it allows the students to enjoy education and gain confidence due to learning differences. Our greatest priority for our children is to have them their personal growth, not only in life but also academically.